Seen that shit.
But before I get into the video, I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, Jerome Young. Now, if you want a new job and a higher salary, go check out his free webinar, Simple Steps to Get a High Paying Job Fast, at www.mh.attractjobsnow.com. And I really think this could help a lot of you guys out. The webinar is taught by job search expert Jerome Young, and he's been featured on Forbes.com, MSNBC.com, Fox News, Good Day, and other media outlets. He specializes in helping people get job interviews and job offers fast without applying to jobs online, and people who have worked with Jerome get an average salary increase of 30%. This week he's offering this valuable webinar free, so I'd highly recommend that you guys go check it out, and all links will be in the description box below to register. So once again, go check it out, and let's hop right into this video. So over these last couple of years, or to be more precise, ever since the 2016-2017 NBA season, the Celtics have gone through a lot of changes. Danny Ainge has made several moves revolving around using stored draft picks to get young players with a lot of upside and clearing cap space so they could sign or trade for max contract players in the offseason. So since then, they drafted young players such as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and all seen by most people with having a lot of potential. And in the offseason of 2017, they were able to make a big splash in free agency by acquiring Gordon Hayward, and in the trade with the Cavs, they were able to acquire a big star in Kyrie Irving, and they're hoping to re-sign him in this coming up offseason. So once again, Danny Ainge has really been busy these last couple of years and has really changed this team. But actually right now, as it stands today, the Celtics currently have only 4 players: Al Horford, Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier, and Marcus Smart, who was on the team during the 2016-2017 NBA season. And during that time, we saw an unexpected team win 53 games, finishing first in the East and go all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, led by Isaiah Thomas and a group of fighters and just underdogs. In the season prior to that, without Al Horford, they won 48 games. Once again, a lot has changed since then, but with that being said, in today's video, we're going to be looking back at the Celtics' former young core, or some of their key players during the 2016-2017 NBA season, and what they've been up to and how they're performing with their new teams since getting traded. So I'm not going to be talking about any of the key players at that time who's still on the team right now, but with everything out of the way, let's hop right into it. So coming at number 1 is Isaiah Thomas. Now Isaiah Thomas has been through a lot, and I mean a lot, since his departure from the Celtics. After averaging 30 points and leading the Celtics all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals during the 2016-2017 NBA season, Isaiah Thomas was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and one of the biggest reasons why the Celtics traded Isaiah Thomas was because of the hip injury he suffered in the postseason. Now at that time, nobody really thought much of the injury, but this injury would prove to be very serious for Isaiah Thomas. But Isaiah Thomas's time in Cleveland didn't quite go so well. He only played 15 games with the Cavs and was traded to the Lakers mid-season, where he only played 17 games with them. But this was a contract year for Isaiah Thomas, and after missing a lot of time during the season with the hip injury and underperforming with the Cavs, teams were reluctant in giving him that big contract that he really wanted. And not to mention, at 5'9", he is a huge defensive liability. And it also didn't help that he was still dealing with the hip injury. So after not receiving many offers, he decided to sign a 1-year deal with the Denver Nuggets, and Isaiah Thomas was on a mission to prove himself again. And one of the biggest reasons why he chose to sign with the Nuggets is because of Michael Malone. Now, Isaiah Thomas actually played for Michael Malone in Sacramento during the 2013-2014 NBA season and averaged 20 points and 6 assists. He was hoping that he'd get the opportunity to prove himself again with the Denver Nuggets coming off the bench. Now, at that time, signing Isaiah Thomas was a pretty decent move for the Nuggets. Once again, he was a vet and a great scorer to come off the bench. But as the season went on and on, his fit on the team made less and less sense. Isaiah Thomas would end up missing the first 56 games of the season, recovering from an arthroscopic procedure he had in the off-season to address his problematic hip. And in his absence, the Nuggets saw major improvements from guys like Monte Morris and Malik Beasley, and not to mention, they were both guards. So with their improved play and already having their star backcourt with Gary Harris and Jamal Murray, the Nuggets were packed at the guard position, and Michael Malone would struggle to find consistent minutes for Isaiah Thomas in his return. Isaiah Thomas would only suit up for 9 games with the Nuggets, and he just didn't fit well with this team at all. I mean, yeah, I get the fact he did average 9 points on only 15 minutes per game in the 9 games that he played, but see, the Nuggets like to play a lot of team basketball, you know, meaning they like to do a lot of cutting and slashing and just things along those lines. They like to move the ball around, and Isaiah Thomas is someone that needs the ball to be effective, and a lot of the time he'd stop the offense with an ISO or force some crazy shot. He'd put his comeback in front of the team's success. Also, at that point, it's way too late in the season to try and integrate him into the team, especially with the postseason coming up. He did miss a lot of time, meaning he was pretty rusty. You know, it sucks to see Isaiah Thomas go through this. It's also hard to see what his future holds for him, but yeah, IT's time since leaving the Celtics hasn't been that great. So coming at number 2 is Jae Crowder. Now, just like Isaiah Thomas, Jae Crowder was also involved in the blockbuster trade that brought Kyrie Irving to the Celtics. Now, I know it's hard to believe, but Jae Crowder was actually one of the best 3-and-D players in the league during the 2016-2017 NBA season, and was also top 5 in scoring on the Celtics during that season, averaging 14 points while also shooting 40% from the 3 and 46% from the field. He played a major role for the team that season, but just like Isaiah Thomas, his short run on the Cavs didn't quite go so well. He was also traded mid-season, and basically the man couldn't hit a 3, and his defense wasn't so great like the year prior. So he got traded to the Utah Jazz, where he's been a decent role player for them. So yeah, there's not really much to say here. Now, coming at number 3 is Avery Bradley. Now, in order to create cap space to sign Gordon Hayward, Avery Bradley, the longest member of the Celtics at that time, was involved in the trade that sent him to the Detroit Pistons for Marcus Morris. Now, during the 2016-2017 NBA season, Avery Bradley came off the best offensive season of his career, averaging 16 points per game while also shooting 39% from the 3, and he was also known as a defensive first playmaker. However, in Detroit, where he only played 40 games, things didn't quite go so well for him, and the same thing can be said with the Clippers when he got traded there and played 55 games with them. Now, neither system fit his offensive game, which affected him on the defensive end as well. With the Pistons, he had a negative 4.6 net rating with him on the floor and a 4.6 net rating with him off the court. And as for the Clippers, the team had a negative 2.3 net rating when he was on the floor and a 3.2 net rating when he was off the floor. But this past NBA trade deadline, the Clippers ended up trading him to the Memphis Grizzlies, and in the 14 games he played with the team this season, he's looked really good, averaging 16 points and shooting 38% from the 3. Maybe he's finally found the right system with the Grizzlies and can return to his old Celtics form. Only time will tell. Now, lastly, coming at number 4 is Kelly Olynyk. Now, Olynyk was another victim to the Celtics' efforts to create max cap space. He signed a 4-year $50 million contract with the Miami Heat shortly after Boston landed Gordon Hayward, and Kelly Olynyk was a solid player for the Celtics coming off the bench. He averaged 9 points for them and shot 35% from the 3. He was also the hero for the Celtics in their Game 7 win to eliminate the Washington Wizards in the 2017 Eastern Conference semifinals. So right now with the Heat, he's still serving as a solid role player for them coming off the bench, averaging 10 points and shooting 35% from the 3. But with that being said, that's all I got for you guys today, and let me know in the comment section below, which of these players do you miss more as a Celtic? But if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe for more NBA content. And I want to give a special thanks to you all for helping me hit 20k subscribers, and I still plan on doing that Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, or follow me on all my social medias. The links to my Twitter and Instagram will be in the comment section below and in the description box below. But I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.